you are increasing his ability to perform. How? So through learning. So learning means you try to teach him the various skills that he needs for this job. It increases employee morale and reduces absenteeism and employee turnover. So here it says train to grow. Let us look into the meaning of the word education. So education is the process of increasing the knowledge and understanding of the employees. Hello everyone, I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence. In this session on staffing, this is the last session on staffing, where I will be discussing about the training and development and the benefits of training and development, and also we will be discussing about training, development, education, and also the various types of training, that is methods of training, that is on-the-job training and off-the-job training. Now, just let us look into what is the meaning of the word training. So, in this session on staffing, that is the last session, so we will be discussing about what is training and development. Whenever we hear some of our friends or relatives getting appointed, we just come across this word of training. So, first 6 months they will be on training and later on they will be inducted into the job. Now, let us look into what is the meaning of this word training. So, training is nothing but you are giving some additional information, or you are making the appointee or the person whom you have appointed for the job, you make him acquainted with the skills. So whatever the job necessitates, whatever the skills the job necessitates, you make him acquainted with it. And so when he is actually placed in the job position, so he will be in a better position to manage the things. Now, if you can see here, there is training and development. There is a picture of training and development here. And we'll just look into what is the meaning of the word training and development. So, training and development is an attempt to improve the current or future employee performance. So, it may be the current employee who is already working, or it may be the future employee who is already working. So, you try to improve his performance by increasing an employee's ability. So, how do you increase his performance? By increasing his ability to perform. So, you are increasing his ability to perform. How? So, through learning. So, learning means you try to teach him the various skills that he needs for this job. So, through his skills, he will be learning, or you will try to make him do the skills again and again so that he becomes more efficient in doing that particular job. Usually, by changing the employee's attitude. So, you try to change his attitude on the job, or by increasing his or her skills and knowledge. So, you just teach him what his actual attitude should be on his job, or you also try to tell him how to increase his skills on the job and also his knowledge about the job. Usually we always see that freshers who just come from out of the college, they will not be industry ready. So they will have only theoretical knowledge of all the things they would have learned in the college. But then actual job necessitates some important skills or knowledge which they should have when they start off with the job. So, to acquaint these persons with the actual job, we need to give them some sort of training. So, this training what we give so that he gets to do his job efficiently, that is what we call it as training and development. In other words, you try to improve the performance of that particular employee and see that he does well, or his abilities improve, his knowledge improves, and his attitude towards his job changes. So all this, to get a change of all in the employee, we need to have training and development. So it is essential for every new employee or an existing employee. If he has to get promoted or if he wants to have a transfer, then this sort of a training and development is essential. Next, let us look into what are the benefits of training and development to the organization. So why do we feel that a person who is appointed should be given training? So what have happened if he is not trained well and if he is just put in the job? Now let us look into what are the benefits of having the training. So in the benefits to the organization, the benefits are as follows. The training is a systematic learning, always better than hit and trial, which lead to wastage of efforts and money. So training is systematic learning. So in a systematic way, you try to give the employees the knowledge about the job that he has to perform in the organization. So in a systematic way, he will be knowing what is the procedure or to be followed, what are the rules and regulations to be followed in his job, and all the duties, responsibilities, whatever he has. So everything he will know when he undergoes this training. So when the employee is properly trained, there is no hit and trial, there is no opportunity for wastage. So the employee will be in a better position to handle his job efficiently. So when there is no hit and trial, then there will be no wastage of efforts and money. Then the second benefit of training is it enhances employee productivity both in terms of quantity, quality, leading to higher profits. Now, a person who is new to the job, he will not know how to perform. But if he is given proper training, then he will be able to know how to do his job well. So, if it is a short period of training of 1 month or 2 months, so in the training period only, he'll pick up all the skills of the job. And when he is actually put in this job position, he will be in a better position to do his job well. So, when he does his job well, then it will lead to the quality of his output will be good, and also when all this is good, it will lead to higher profits. Then the next benefit of training and development is it equips the future manager who can take over in case of emergency. So we are creating an environment where the employee can be offered a higher position. So whenever in case there is an emergency or in case one of the persons or one of the staff is on leave, then with the help of this training and development, we will be equipping him for future positions. So or if the manager himself is on leave, then this employee can take over as the manager. So we will be training them for various job positions in the organization, as a result of which in case any of the employee goes on leave or if any of the employee is been removed from the job, then the others who are in the department, they can just pitch in and do the job. So the company's activities will not come to a standstill if any one of the employees is removed or he is on leave. So in other words, the training will help all the employees of that department to know what is the job of the entire department and to see that the work in that particular department goes on, whether the employees are on leave or not. So this helps it will help in continuous production activity, and there will be no stoppage due to the leave or absence of any employee in the organization. Then the next importance of training and development is it increases employee morale and reduces absenteeism and employee turnover. So here it says train to grow. So if you want to grow in an organization, you should have proper training. Now, next benefit of training is it increases employee morale. So how it will increase employee morale? So when the person is working very efficiently and very effectively, then what will happen is his performance will improve. So when his performance improves, automatically his remuneration also will improve, and as a result of which he will gain confidence in his job and it will increase his morale. And because of this increase boosting the morale of the employee, we can have reduced absenteeism. So there will be no absentees in the organization, and also there will be lesser employee turnover. As he knows his job well, so he will be doing his job well, there will be no mistakes, and as a result of which you will instill confidence in the employee, as a result of which there is no employee turnover. So the employee can will remain in the organization for a very long period. Then it helps in obtaining effective response to fast changing environment, technological and economic. So whenever there is a change in technology or whenever there is a change in the environment of the business, so we can always train our employees for the fast changes. So whatever changes are there in the environment, business environment, technological environment or the economic environment, so you are just preparing the employees for all the changes in the environment, as a result of which he will be in a better position to handle his job. So he will know what to do when. So when he is confronted with any problem, so he will be in a position to analyze the situation well and respond to it in a better manner, or he will be prepared to meet any contingencies in his job because of this training. So this will help him to cope up with the changes in the environment, as a result of which the business will gain. So all these are the benefits of training and development to the organization. Now let us look into what is the importance of training and development to the employee, how the employee will benefit through this training and development. First thing is, he will have improved skills and knowledge due to training. So it will lead to better career of the individual. So in benefits to the employee, we can see that he has improved skills and knowledge. So the employee's skills will improve, his knowledge of the job will improve, and as a result of which he will have a better career. So when his performance is good, then there will be a career path created for him. So as and when his performance will keep on excelling, he can go to various job positions, he can get promotions, and then he can climb up the corporate ladder. So there is a career path which is being promoted for him or carved out for him with the help of proper training and development, and with the help of which he can always have his success in life, and then increased performance will help him to earn more. So when you are given proper training, you will be doing the job more efficiently and effectively, as a result of which the remuneration whatever is drawing will improve. So this will instill more confidence in each individual. Then next benefit of training and development is, it makes the employee more efficient to handle machines, so less prone to accidents. So this relates to the production sector, or where we need employees to work on machinery. So in the production department, where the employees have to work on hazardous machinery, so it is always better to see that they are properly trained. So if they are properly trained to handle the machinery, then he will do it more efficiently. So when he knows exactly how to handle the machine, he will be in a better position to do his job. But if you don't give training and you simply put him on the machine, so he will not know how to handle the machine, and as a result of which there may be accidents, or it may lead to any harm or injury to the employees, which the organization does not want. So to avoid all these accidents, it is always better to get the employee properly trained handling the machinery as such. Then next, training increases satisfaction and morale of the employees. So it will increase the satisfaction and also the morale of the employees. How? So it will instill confidence and training, and he will also have a change in attitude, better skills, better knowledge of the job, better performance, and better remuneration. So through all this, this will boost his morale, and also he will have job satisfaction in his job. Then next, let us look into the three concepts, that is training, development and education. So you can see this person is giving training to the trainees here, and here let us look into what is the actual meaning of this concept of training. So in this concept of training, it tells us that it is any process by which the aptitudes, skills and abilities of employees to perform specific jobs are increased. So the aptitude means how interested he is in his job, the skills, whatever skills the job requires, and the abilities of the employees to perform particular jobs. So certain specific jobs are there. For that, we need to see that these skills are improved. Then it is a process of learning new skills and application of knowledge. So you need to learn new skills. Training is nothing but you are learning new skills and you are applying whatever skills you have learned in your job. So this is the meaning of the word training. So it attempts to improve their performance on the current job and prepare them for any intended job. So whenever you are giving training to the persons or to the employees, you will be trying to improve their performance in the current job. So whatever job they are holding now, you will ensure that they have a better performance in their current job and also prepare them for any intended job. So for any intended job, whatever they have, so for that also it should prepare them. So this is the actual meaning of the word training. Education. If you can see here, the whole world is enveloped in education. So let us look into the meaning of the word education. So education is the process of increasing the knowledge and understanding of the employees. So training is the process of increasing the aptitude, skills and knowledge of the employee. Whereas in education, it is the process of increasing the knowledge and understanding of the employees. You understand them better. You understand them in a background, what is his background and how he has come to the job and what are his expectations about the job. All this information you will be able to collect with the help of this education. It is the understanding and interpretation of knowledge. So whatever knowledge he has gained during his college days or through his education, so he will be having an understanding of that and also an interpretation. How do you interpret whatever you have learned? How do you apply whatever you have learned? All that will be there in this education. So it does not provide definite answers, but rather develops a logical and rational mind that can determine relationships among pertinent variables and thereby understand a phenomenon. Through this education, even though we cannot give definite answers, there are so many things for which we don't have answers at all. But through this education, we will be able to have a logical mind, a logical and rational thinking. So with the help of education, we are instilling in the person a rational mind and logical way of looking at things and also determine relationships among pertinent variables. So whenever there is a variable, so if you want to explain a scientific formula, so we will say that 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, it will convert into or water. To get water, you need to combine 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. So you are getting a pertinent answer. So when you are having variables, so you just combine and get an answer for that. So through this education, through this process of education, we will be able to determine relationships among pertinent variables. So what are the variables here? So with the help of these variables and thereby understand the phenomenon. So it may be any phenomenon for that matter. It may be the sunrise or the sunset. So we all know that when the earth is facing the sun, then it is the phenomenon of sunrise. When the earth is facing the other side, when the place where we stay, that part of the earth, when it faces the other side, it amounts to sunset. So this phenomenon is explained, and this phenomenon we all can understand, or we know what is the environment around us, what are the various seasons around us. So all the scientific principles we can understand, all the phenomenon we can understand. This is with the help of education. So education does not give us definite answers, but it always helps us to think logically and rationally, and also it helps us, gives an relationship among pertinent variables. So why do we have days and nights? So why do we have so many days in a year? Why do we have so many days in a week? Why do we have so many hours in a day? So all these things we can understand with the help of rational and logical thinking, which this education is imparting to us. Then next, we look into education also imparts qualities of mind, character and understanding of basic principles, and develops the capacities of analysis, synthesis and objectivity. So we should also understand that education will impart qualities of the mind, how the person is, what a kind of a temperament he has, what is his nature. So all the qualities of the mind also it will impart, his character, his understanding of the principles. So whatever is taught to him, he should be able to understand it, and through this understanding he will develop the analysis. So an analytical mind he will have, and also synthesis and objectivity. So all these things he will be able to know with the help of education. So in other words, education helps in building the knowledge, his character, his analytical thinking, his logical and rational mind. So it is all done through the process of education. Now, let us look into what is the meaning of the word development. So, development refers to the learning opportunities designed to help employees to grow. So, we all know that any employee in the organization, he will not like to remain in the position for a very long time. So, we should offer him various modes of development. So, he should develop his career. So, for that, we need to see that he undergoes this process of development. So, it refers to learning opportunities designed to help employees grow. So, through this development, we are giving him an opportunity to grow in his job positions. So, it not only covers those activities which improve job performance, and also those which bring about growth of the personality, help individuals in their progress towards maturity and actualization of their potential capacities, so that they become not only good employees but also better men and women. So, in this process of development, we will be not only concentrating on improving his job performance. So, what is his job? How he will do his job? How he will improve his job? That we will be teaching, and along with that, we will also see that he evolves as a person. There is a growth in his personality. We help individuals in progress towards maturity. We see that they become better individuals. Suppose he is a very introvert, you just help him to come out of that stage, and you try to see that he socializes well with other employees, and also we see that their potential and capacities are also enhanced, and they become not only good employees but also better men and women. So through this process of development, you are not only ensuring that he performs well in his job, but also you see that he is evolved as a better individual. He is evolved as his personality develops, or he evolves as a better human being. So all these values, whatever we instill, it is through this process of development. So whenever you are developing, so whenever we say training and development, it includes his on-the-job skills, as well as this, we will be seeing a changed personality in the individual. He will evolve as a better individual, a better person, and which will help him in his future jobs. Then next we will just look into what are the different training methods. Now training methods can be classified as on-the-job training method and off-the-job training method. So on-the-job training method, just let us look into what is the meaning of on-the-job method. So on-the-job method refers to the methods that are applied to the workplace. So when the person he is in his job position, in that position only he will be undergoing training. So that type of training we call it as on the job training. So while the employee is actually working, so when he is actually working on the job, so whatever sort of training you give, that we call it as on the job training. So off the job methods are used away from the workplace. So off the job means you are giving him training in a place away from the job. So that is off the job training. Now the former means learning while doing, while the latter means learning before doing. So you will be learning the tricks of the job when you are actually doing the job. That is what we call it as the on the job training. So learning while doing. But if it is off the job, it means learning before doing. So before doing the job, you learn how to do the job. So such sort of a training we call it as off the job training. Now, so you can see here the various aspects of on the job training, that is apprenticeship, coaching, mentoring, job rotation and all these things. So they all refer to on the job methods of training. Now let us look into the first method of training, that is apprenticeship program. So this is on the job. So apprenticeship programs are put the trainee under the guidance of a master worker. These are designed to acquire a higher level of skill. So in this apprenticeship program, the employee will be put under a master worker, a person who is well trained in doing his job, who knows his job well. So under him, we will just put these trainees and he will be teaching them the various skills of the job. Usually this kind of apprenticeship training is used for plumbing jobs, electrician jobs, etc. So where we will have to have the technical knowledge and skill to do the job, how the job is actually done. So this he will be learning from the master trainer, and they are trainees who spend a prescribed amount of time working with an experienced guide or trainer. So he will not be independently put on the job, but then there will be a trainer who will be telling him how to do the job well. As such, he will be following the instructions, and as a result of which he gets more and more involved in the job, or he knows the basic secrets or what are the skills involved in each job. So this is what we call as the apprenticeship programs. So this type of apprenticeship programs are usually done for jobs where you need to have technical knowledge of the job. So where you need some sort of a skills to handle the job, in such jobs we need this apprenticeship training. So in this apprenticeship programs, you will be working under a master trainer or a master worker who is well experienced in that particular job. Then the second type of on the job is coaching. Now, what is this coaching? So we all have come across the word coaching. Coaching means coaching for NEET exam, coaching for CET, coaching for MAT, CAT. So all kind of competitive exams, we see that we hear the word coaching. Now, for training also, we use this word coaching. Now, what is the meaning of this word coaching? So in this method, the superior guides and instructs the trainee as a coach. Now, there is a superior subordinate relationship existing in every organization, and then the superior will be training the subordinate in his job. So the person who has been newly appointed, he will be called as a trainee, and the superior will be called as the coach here. The coach means he will be assisting, guiding and instructing the trainee. The coach or counselor sets mutually agreed upon goals, suggests how to achieve these goals periodically, and reviews the trainee's progress. So, just like in a class where you have the teacher teaching all the various concepts, and then he gives the exam, and then he assesses how much each student has been able to learn. So all these things we do in the coaching in the classroom. The same way in coaching also, in this kind of training, the superior will give the subordinate some task which he has to be done, and then later on he will tell them how to achieve these tasks, and then periodically he will be reviewing the progress. So at the end of 1 week he will just see what is the progress of the trainee, or after 15 days or after 1 month. So depending on the period of coaching, so he will be assessing the performance of the trainee. So this is one method of on the job training. Then the third on the job training is internship training. Now, what is this meaning of internship training? So, you are developing skills. There are various skills which have to be developed. It is a joint program of training in which educational institutions and business firms cooperate. So here in this type of internship training, so educational institutions tie up with some business organizations, and from these educational institutions you send some selected students for the business organization to get training, to see that they get trained in the various fields, or they become industry ready. So selected candidates carry on regular studies for the prescribed period. They also work in some factory or office to acquire practical knowledge and skill. So this internship training will help in acquiring the practical knowledge and skills. So it is a tie-up between the educational institutions and some of the business firms. The business firms will be willing to provide training to these students who will be enrolled in various educational institutions, and they will be exposed to the on-the-job work. So what is the actual job to be done and how it is to be done. So all these things they will be learning through this internship training. Then the next type of training method is job rotation. So job rotation, you can see that they are swapping the places of each of these workers. So job rotation, so it is a kind of training involves shifting the training from one department to another, or from one job to another. So job rotation means you are just shifting the job positions, or you shift one person from one department to another department, or from one position to another position. So he may be working as an officer. Suppose if it is a bank job, so a person who is working as an officer, he may be put in the job as a cashier, and a person who is working as a clerk, he may be also working in the capacity of an officer. So depending on the situation. So this kind of a job rotation, it is also one kind of training. So in this job rotation, it allows trainees to interact with other employees, facilitating future cooperation among the departments. So with the help of job rotation, the trainees will be able to interact with other employees. So since we will be working in departments, so this type of shifting from one department to another will help this employee to know the employees of other departments. They will have better interaction and better coordination and cooperation with other departments, and it will also help in future cooperation. So when you know the persons of other departments, so you will be in a better position to cooperate with them, and also we can contribute for the teamwork of the organization. So job rotation as such helps to know the various aspects of all the job in that particular department or in that particular organization. So it will also prepare the employees for higher positions in their jobs. So it is one method of on-the-job training. Then next, let us look into what are the different methods of off-the-job methods. So off-the-job method is classroom lectures and conferences. Now, with the help of the classroom or with the help of lecture method, you will be imparting training to the students or to the future employees of the organization. So what kind of training you will be giving? So you will be giving them technical knowledge about the handling various machines. So it will be in the classroom. You will be through the lecture method or through the help of conferences, you will be providing the basic knowledge about how to do the job. The lecture or conference approach is well adapted to conveying specific information, rules, procedures or methods. So whatever information you have to give, you can give it through this lecture method, and whatever the rules, whatever the procedure of each of the machine, so all that you can be able to give through this classroom lectures. Then in the classroom lecture, we can use audio visuals, audio visual of the actual working of the machine, and then demonstrations how to handle the machine. It can often make a formal classroom presentation more interesting while increasing retention and offering a vehicle for clarifying more difficult points. So in the classroom, along with the lecture method, if you are giving them an audio or a visual demonstration of the job, then it will help the students in retaining memory. So whatever they have not only heard, but they are seeing the actual work to be done. So it will help in better retention of whatever they are learning, and as such they can also understand what are the more difficult parts of the job. So if the job machine entails some difficult aspects, some technological aspects, even those can be explained with the help of audio visuals. Then the next off the job method is films. So films, as you know, they provide information and explicitly demonstrate skills that are not easily represented by other techniques. So when you are explaining in a classroom, so you will be just telling what you have to do through the help of by just speaking. But then in the actual, if you are showing a movie of whatever they have to do, or through the help of audios and visuals, you will be explaining what is the machinery involved and what are the various aspects of the machinery, what are more dangerous and where you have to be careful. With this, through the films, you will be able in a better position to handle the trainees, or you will be able to put across the information in a better way. So used in conjunction with conference discussions, it is very effective method in certain cases. So when in the films, when you have along with this classroom method, along with the audio visuals, if you can have films to illustrate your point, it will be along with the conference discussions, so it will be more effective for the future trainees. Then third one is case study. Now what is this case study? So case study is taken from actual experiences of organizations. So whatever problems they have confronted, they will have a record of all those things. So this case studies, cases represent attempts to describe as accurately as possible real problems that managers have faced. So there may be so many problems which the manager would have faced before, so in the past. So they would have made a record of all those problems and how each of the manager had solved the problem. So they will be record of all these things, and these records will be given for the students. So trainees study the cases to determine problems, analyze causes, develop alternative solutions, select what they believe to be the best solution and implement it. So when you have a record of all the problems which you have faced in the past, then it will be an object of study for the future trainees, or the trainees will be given these case studies with the help of which they will be able to learn better, or they will be able to analyze the problem, they'll be able to study the problem and then come up with various solutions, come up with various alternatives, and also they will be able to choose the best alternative to the each of these problems. Then the next off-the-job method is computer modeling. So what is this computer modeling? So it simulates work employment by programming a computer, imitates some of the realities of the job, and allows learning to take place without the risk or high cost that would be incurred if the mistake were made in real life situations. So in this computer modeling, the work environment is created in a computer. So in the computer itself, you will be just having a feel of how the real world job will be, and then it will allow learning to take place without the risk of high cost. So if the job is involving, even if there is a small mistake, it will lead to huge wastage of resources. Then for such jobs, we need to have this computer modeling. So with the help of computer modeling, we will be able to do this learning without the risk of high cost, and even if there is a mistake, then it can be corrected without involving any extra expenditure. So there is a simulation of the work environment. So you create a program in the computer so that the trainee gets a feel of that what he is doing in the real job. For example, you have driving classes through computers. So with the help of the computer, you will be learning the driving, how to drive a car or a two-wheeler, and then even if there is an accident there, so there will not be any loss of life or injury at all to the person who is driving. But when you are giving him actual training on the road, and if there is a small mistake, it may result in injury to the person. So in such situations, it is better to see that there is computer modeling or simulation with the help of computers, and see that that person gets well acquainted with the driving lessons, and as such he will be a good driver when he is put on the actual road. So the next method of off-the-job training is vestibule training. Now, what is the meaning of this vestibule training? So employees learn the job on the equipment which they will be using, but the training is conducted away from the actual work floor. So the training is away from the actual work floor, and they will be doing the jobs. So whatever is the actual machinery he will be handling in the company, the same type of machinery will be in the training center, and this person will be working on the machinery in the training center to know how to handle those machines. Then actual work environments are created in a classroom, and employees use the same materials, files and equipment. So whatever he will be using in the job, the same materials, files, equipments, everything will be there in the training center, and he will be actually making use of these materials and equipments, etc. And this is usually done when employees are required to handle sophisticated machinery and equipment. So when the employee should handle sophisticated machinery and equipment, so it is better to have this sort of a vestibule training, so that he gets to know how to handle the machinery well before he is actually placed on the job. So this sophisticated machinery also will not be spoiled because of inexperienced workers. So it is better. This vestibule training is used whenever we need the employees to work on sophisticated equipments and machinery. So it is nothing but a recreation of the workplace at a place away from the actual job, and see that they get acquainted with the machinery, the materials, the skills, etc. And then they are placed on the job actually. Then the last kind of off-the-job training is programmed instructions. Now, what do you mean by programmed learning? So, in this method, it incorporates a pre-arranged and proposed acquisition of some specific skills of general knowledge. So, you are giving them some specific skills and general knowledge. So, information is broken into meaningful units, and these units are arranged in a proper way to form a logical and sequential learning package from simple to complex. The trainee goes through these units and answers questions or filling the blanks. So in this programmed instructions, so information is broken into meaningful units. So whatever information you want to impart to the trainee, you break it into meaningful units. So you make it into paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4, and then you see that he goes through all these units, and then you see that there is a sequential learning package from the simple to the complex knowledge, whatever he has to know, that you will be arranging it in a sequential way. And then when the trainee will go through all these things, and he will be made to fill out a questionnaire, or he may be asked MCQ, that is multiple choice questions based on this program instructions, so that we are aware that this person has gone through all these instructions. As a result, he has knowledge of whatever we have to offer. So these are the various methods of off-the-job training. So we have come to the end of the session. Hope you have, in this session, you have all understood what is the meaning of training and development, what are the benefits of training and development to the organization and to the employees, and also the various methods of training and development, that is off-the-job training and on-the-job training. Thank you.